I thought I'd take a second and show what like transfer settlements does, like how it works, and just kind of let everybody see kind of like an alternative to building settlements. Don't get me wrong, I love SS2. I think it's an amazing kind of a mod, but this is like an alternative. Um, so basically, this is home plate. I'm actually using a new reshade preset. It's it's very different than the one I used before. It's different settings. I'm trying different things out. But I just want to show you the process. It's pretty simple. Basically, I'm going to use raise my settlement to clear out the debris and trash, and then I'm going to use transfer settlements to build the settlement. So it's like a settlement. Okay. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure raise my settlement needs to know that you own the workbench. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate it to own it. Now I can go in and delete this stuff or scrap it, but I'm going to let Raise do that. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in to miscellaneous because it is a holotape, and we're going to go to in my game I don't have the sorting done up completely, so in my game it's going to be under settings. I'm going to do raise my settlement, and this is going to scrap all of the junk and debris, right? So let's do that first. And I have a different I'm using actually a different HUD. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so it's done raising it, and you can see that all of the debris is cleared out. So it's cleaned. In fact, I'm not sure why these two items are left. So let me get rid of that, and let me get rid of that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Up here, I think it's all. I got a bed here. Let's see, there's just one bed. Okay, so now let's go in and let's use transfer settlements. Now, basically, all that is a file. It's a mod that uses an assembly, a DLL, to locate all of the objects that you build, whether it's build like objects that you've built or whether they're objects that were there originally. Um, and it puts these in a file in their XYZ locations. So it's like a list of everything that when you like let's say I build this. I put all these different objects in here from the workshop. I can then export all of these objects in a file that I can then load later. And it's kind of cool. So you can pretend you have different levels of buildings if you want to have like a mega city or just a simple little settlement. Either one is fine.
Hey there.
So
Sometimes
let's
I
go
feel
in and
funny
let's do
inside,
transfer settlements now. So I
as
don't
if
have the
there's another
sorting. I
person
haven't really done a lot of the sorting stuff
living
yet.
inside
So
of me.
it's mine is going to be here under games, and that's just where I think it's the new Fallout sort of Fists, I think, put it. All right, so what we want to do is we want to import a settlement. Now, I've gone onto the Nexus. It's just one place I've gone to look. And I've located a settlement that I like that uses vanilla content. Because if you use objects from mods, those modded objects will be in your transfer settlement file. I do believe the mod author of transfer settlements allows you to say, I want to use uh, I want to use or apply those mods to my settlement, or it allows you to exclude them, so you only have vanilla stuff. All right, so this is the one here. I got this off the Nexus, and it's gonna bring it up. See, say it's home plate. See right here, home plate. So we're gonna say, yep, I've got the options set. So the original items, DLC items, things like that. Anything that might be in there. I'm not sure what marker-based items. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at that. But okay, so let's go ahead and import it. So I'll show you what this looks like. So here's what happens. You basically have it's in 3 phases.
I love that face.
So here's
I like
phase
it when
1.
talking
You can
seems
see
to start
over in the
like this.
left where it's
I'm
importing.
so
It tells
happy
you
that
the
you think they're
percentage.
beautiful.
And all this is doing is basically going through the file. It's called importing, but what it's doing is it's reading that file that's created with Transfer Settlements DLL. It's a text file, it's a JSON file. It's reading that file, and it says, okay, this is the object reference, this is the XYZ position. That's pretty much all it's doing.
Hell yeah.
And then it's placing or setting this object. You know, it's like, let's say you want to say place at me as an example. So it places the object somewhere in this XYZ world
hun.
space.
So, what's next on the menu?
But the thing is, it doesn't snap together when you place it like that. So he's going to do a phase 2, which he's going to call it stabilizing. And it's kind of like selecting the object. It's using like where you select the object, which causes these snapping functions
Hell
to
yeah.
work. And then that includes nav meshing, dynamic nav meshing. I think they called it nav cutting. It includes all of that. So you can see the import is almost done. Stabilizing is going to be next. So you can kind of see how everything starts to build out. Now this is the way this guy laid this out when he
Hey.
created. He
My
saved
pussy
it.
is itching.
You have to,
Give me a moment.
by all means, just kind of let her slide. Let's see. Let's go this way. So you can see all of the
Hell yeah.
stuff. I'm gonna turn out my Pip-Boy light here so you can kind of see when the lights come on.
Whatever.
Okay, so
Much better.
all right. Okay, so we're still cruising along here. Shouldn't take too much longer. But and I'll show you there may be a duplicate bed up here because this bed is here, so it may have duplicated this bed, and it looks like it did.
Bingo.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of one of those beds here in just a second, because remember it put the original items in. I said I checked it off to actually put the original items and any modded items. Now, and sorry for my quiet voice here, but I don't want to get the cat all riled up. Okay, so because it'll be walking across my desk. All right, so you can actually see where it's stabilized, powered on the lights, and that is all there is to it. You now have a design that was done by another mod author. You can do it yourself. I can add to this and export it, which is what I did with Sanctuary, Red Rocket, and I can add to it. Each gameplay, each test I do, I actually go through, and each test I actually go through and I add a little bit to it, change a little bit, and save it back for the next test. So in the end, I imagine that must have been like a chair. I have no idea what this is. Obviously, she thinks there's a chair marker there.
Hey.
Sometimes the water
But I
goes
don't think
every-
there's a chair there. See, I don't really see a chair. Yeah. So not really sure about
making
that.
everything damp and sad.
But that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, not much to it.
I love the rain.
Now let's go up here and take a look
But
at this
sometimes
bed.
I hate
Because if you don't
it.
get rid of beds, they'll be duplicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into workshop mode here, and we're going to see how many beds we got. Alright, so there's like, okay, so there's a couple beds. Alright, so, let's, what did I do with the bed? Okay, I got it somewhere. I've dropped it. Where did I go? Where in the world did that bed take off to? It is somewhere here. Well, I don't see it. Somehow I've got it. I've got that. Somehow I've dropped it somewhere. There it is. Alright, so we're going to put the bed in the workshop, and there. So we're down to one bed, and that's pretty much it. So had I I would recommend scrapping those beds or putting them in the workbench or workshop. Put them in the workshop before you do this, and then you won't have that problem. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a nice way to kind of say, I'm gonna just pretend I bought it this way, and instead of doing it myself, or I can do it myself, like I say, and I can go into transfer settlements. I can go up to here where it says it's in games, and I can export this settlement. It would ask me where you can see where I exported my characters here, Lauren Michaels. You can see where I exported stuff, and the only ones that I didn't export, I'm using designs that other mod authors created, is the one for home plate, and I'm also using the one for where is it here? Let's see. It is, well, Vault 88. Yeah, I haven't built that one yet, but the Gun for Hire office, I do have that one that I use, and it's really cool. It's very nice setup. I can show you that here in a little bit. But just wanted to show you that, how that works and how easy it is to use. It's very simple. They don't want me to delete moving things around until the nav mesh stabilizes. I'm not sure if that is for programmers. I'm not sure if that's done on a background thread over time.
Bingo.
I'm not real sure. So, because to me,
Hey, join me.
it should already
It'll
be
be
done.
cozy together.
So I don't know why it's not. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, give it a shot, see what you think, and have fun playing.